Hey guys, welcome back to Alex Goes Coconuts. Today I'm gonna go over how to save money at Universal Studios Orlando, Florida. With the growing popularity of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal has become a great family vacation spot. But the cost to visiting these theme parks can add up really quickly, especially when you take into account things like transportation, accommodations, food, and souvenirs. Park tickets alone to the Universal Orlando resorts are hundreds and hundreds of dollars depending on the size of your family and how many days you plan to visit. Fortunately, with a little pre-planning, you can cut your costs down significantly. So today I'll share my top 10 insider tips on how to save money on your next Universal trip. Tip number 1 is to buy your admission tickets early. The easiest way to save money is to buy your tickets in advance before you even get to the gate. You can save up to $20 per person if you buy your tickets online or if you call Universal Studios and book your tickets that way. For a family of 4, that's $80 of savings. And when I say that you have to buy your tickets in advance, it doesn't mean that you have to buy your tickets 24 hours before you even get to the parks. You can literally be standing in front of the Universal gates and you could just call Universal, book your tickets on the phone. They'll give you a confirmation number and then all you have to do is go pick them up at the will call kiosk. You're not only going to be saving money, but you're also going to be avoiding the long lines at the ticket counter. Tip number 2 is to shop around for those tickets carefully. If you're buying tickets from a third-party vendor other than Universal, you have to be careful who you're buying your tickets from. Don't be tempted to buy tickets from sources that you don't know just because of great prices. Honestly, if a deal looks too good to be true, it most probably is. There are tons of fake and invalid tickets being sold online or at those roadside stands on the way to Universal. Never buy tickets from Craigslist or eBay either. Theme parks use photos and fingerprint scans to associate multi-day tickets with their users, so that any unused days cannot be used by anyone else. And parks track their inventory really vigilantly. So honestly, I've seen this happen where people get to the gate and they have fake tickets on them and then Universal can't do anything for them. They can't get a refund and they've just wasted all that money on a fake ticket. The best way to do it is to make sure that you're buying from an authorized seller. Now, there are really great places where you can buy discounted tickets. There's a travel agency actually that I've used before called Undercover Tourists, and they sell Universal tickets at discount prices. Another great place to check is with your AAA office or your CAA office. They'll often have discounts on multi-day tickets. Tip number 3 is to consider visiting longer or buying an annual pass. Universal wants you to extend your stay, so they price tickets so that the daily cost of those tickets actually decreases the more days you add. Now, Universal's annual passes are actually the cheapest bulk pricing deals available. You might even find that you'll pay the same price for an annual pass than you would a 4-day or a 5-day park-to-park ticket. And with the annual pass, you'll get the benefit of using the annual pass discounts on all Universal hotels, on food, on merchandise, and even on parking. Now, you have to consider that when you buy an annual pass, it gives you automatic park-to-park access. This is something you're gonna have to pay extra for if you're buying a single or a multi-day ticket. And buying an annual pass is definitely something you should consider if you're planning to visit Universal a second time in the next 12 months. This might be a really great money saver if your family likes to plan vacations ahead of time like mine. Just take into account that the lower priced annual passes have blockout dates. So you'll either need to plan your vacation around those dates or buy yourself a more expensive annual pass. Just a quick note, any theme park ticket that was booked through Universal can be upgraded to a longer multi-day pass or even an annual pass within the park. Just visit guest relations before leaving the park and you can upgrade your ticket and just pay for that price difference. Tip number 4 is to try to visit off-season. If you can visit the theme parks when it's a low season, you're not only gonna have a better in-park experience with lower crowds, but you're gonna save a ton of money. Hotels and flights are usually a lot cheaper, but Universal also releases really amazing deals during their low season. Now, the slowest months are usually late fall and late winter. Tip number 5 is to choose your accommodations carefully. I get asked this question all the time. Is it cheaper to stay on site or is it cheaper to stay off site? Honestly, there's no clear-cut answer to this question. It's gonna take some number crunching on your part to see what's best for your family. I would have to say that it depends on the time of year that you're visiting and how busy the parks are. Yes, there are always cheaper options if you decide to stay off property, but Universal hotels offer some really great perks that might make it cheaper to stay on site in the long run. Universal hotels offer free transportation to and from the parks, eliminating the need for a car rental. You'll also save on that $20 a day parking fee if you did end up driving. The added bonus is that you'll also get early park admission to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Volcano Bay. That's a whole extra hour to visit the parks before the heavy crowds come in. Now, if you stay at one of Universal's 3 deluxe resorts, the Royal Pacific Resort, the Hard Rock Hotel, or the Portofino Bay Hotel, you'll actually get an unlimited express pass for each family member staying at that resort. Basically, an express pass gives you front-of-the-line access to almost all Universal rides. This is huge, especially when you're traveling during a really busy time of year and the lines can get up to 3 to 4 hours long. You'll literally cut your wait time in half by using that express pass. This can save you a lot of time and money. You can end up by cutting a whole day from your vacation. That's 1 day less of hotels and 1 day less of food. Now, the express pass can be purchased for additional costs and added to your ticket, but it's so expensive that it might just be better to stay at one of these 3 hotels to take advantage of the free express pass. The express passes, if you were to buy them, cost between $40 to $150 per person, and they're only good for 1 day. Instead, if you stay at one of these 3 hotels, you get the free express pass for the duration of your stay, including the day you check out. It might even be worth staying at one of those 3 hotels just for 1 night, since you'll get the free express pass for 2 days, even though you're just staying 1 night. Now, if you do end up buying that annual pass that I was talking about earlier, this is where you're going to be saving the most money. Universal offers some pretty hefty annual pass discounts on their room rates. You can get between 30 to 65% off your room rate by getting an annual pass. You don't even need to own an annual pass to go check out the rates. If you want to go check out the annual pass rates, all you have to do is go to universalorlando.com's website and you can check out their annual pass section where they give annual pass discounts for hotels and rooms. Here you can check out which discounts are being offered during the time of your travel. Then you can see if it's actually worth for you to get an annual pass or not. Now, just take note that Universal only releases those annual pass discounts 3 to 6 months ahead of time. Now, if you do see an annual pass discount that you're really interested in, just book it. You don't even need an annual pass to reserve the annual pass discount. You're just going to need to show your annual pass at check-in. So you can even purchase your annual pass right before checking in. Now, a really great trick that a lot of people don't think about is that you only actually need 1 annual pass to get the discount on those rooms. So in fact, we did this a few years ago. I actually purchased an annual pass just in my name, and the rest of my family bought regular multi-day tickets. That way I was able to get, I think 40% off the Hard Rock Hotel room rate. And we also got discounts on food inside the parks and discounts on all their merchandise. And honestly, even though I only used that annual pass once, we saved hundreds of dollars by doing just that. Now, if you can't afford to stay at one of those 3 deluxe resorts, don't worry, Universal has tons of hotels with much cheaper accommodations. And you'll still have some really great perks like early park admission to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Volcano Bay and free transportation. Now, if you're traveling off season and you're not concerned with crowds or wait times in the park, then by all means, check out off-site properties. It might actually save your family a lot more money. And during slow periods, you won't even need an express pass. Most rides you can just walk onto. That brings me to tip number 6. Definitely try to book your trip as a vacation package instead of booking your hotel and your tickets separately. It will most probably come out cheaper as a vacation package. Tip number 7 is to take advantage of extra discounts that might be available inside the parks. For example, AAA members get a 10% discount on food inside the parks, so be sure to bring your membership card to get that discount. There are also a lot of discounts offered for American Express users. Their perks change continually, so go check out the Universal app to see which discounts are available at the time of your travel. American Express also has a private lounge for their card members only, where you can go relax and get some free food and some free drinks. And this is only valid if you have a multi-day ticket or an annual pass. Tip number 8, buy your souvenirs ahead of time. The park is full of t-shirts and toys and Harry Potter merchandise that are at premium prices. You can save a ton of money by buying most of that merchandise before you even leave for your vacation and packing it in your suitcase. Then when you get to the hotel, you can surprise your kids with that stuff and they'll be just as happy. My kids are actually huge Harry Potter fans, and on our last trip, I decided to buy them Gryffindor robes and ties, and I actually purchased them on Amazon before I even left. I paid the robes $35, including the tie, instead of buying the robes inside the parks, which cost $110 each. Now, if you do have a car, you can totally go check out the Walmart or the Target around the Universal area. They have some really great merchandise out there, like Harry Potter merchandise and Universal merchandise, for a lot cheaper than you would pay inside the parks. Tip number 9 is to bring a backpack and rent yourself a locker. I recommend bringing a backpack with all the essentials that you might need for that day. This is especially a good idea if you're planning on going on a water ride, or if you know that the temperatures will change throughout the day, like it'll be hot during the day and cooler at night. You're definitely gonna wanna bring some jackets, some sweatshirts, maybe a bathing suit, some rain ponchos, sunscreen, all kinds of stuff that if you buy in the park, it'll cost you so much more than if you bring them from home. Now, you can rent yourself a locker for the whole day for about $14. And those lockers, you can basically open them and close them throughout the day without any extra charges. Tip number 10 is to bring some food and bring yourself a refillable water bottle. Universal actually doesn't allow like full picnic lunches, but they do allow you to bring light snacks. And the rules about what is considered a light snack is kind of fuzzy, so you can totally make yourself a whole meal with those light snacks. I think even if you brought yourself like a little sandwich or something, it would totally be allowed inside the parks. Now, food prices are really expensive inside the theme park. I mean, it is a theme park and food is always expensive no matter which theme park you visit. But bringing yourself some snacks can really save you a lot of money in the long run. Now, if you bring yourself a refillable water bottle, you can actually get ice water at any drink stand. And there's also fountains throughout the park, so it's easy to stay hydrated. especially in that Florida sun. Now, if you're a big soda drinker, you can totally check out the Coke Freestyle program. You can purchase yourself a Freestyle cup, which will allow you to get free refills throughout the day. You have over 100 flavors to choose from. I think even slush is included in the Freestyle program. So if you're a big soda drinker, you can totally invest in this and you're gonna save a ton of money. Okay guys, so those are my top 10 insider tips on how to save money during your Universal trip. I hope that helped you plan a better trip. Let me know in the comments below if I forgot anything or if you have any other suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're heading to Universal, do check out my other video on what to carry inside the parks. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great trip. Bye.